Back to hour number 2 of the Steve Malzberg Show, and we are joined by, of course, the founder and CEO of the Trump Corporation, host and star of The Apprentice, by the way, as if you didn't know, the one and only Donald Trump. Hello, sir.
Hello, Steve.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Well, I know you're very busy. How's The Apprentice? What's ahead for the spring?
The Apprentice is great. It's 10 years. It's 14 episodes already, so it's been amazing. 14 seasons. We had a couple of doubles, as you know. And
yeah.
It's been just a big hit. It became the #1 show on television, and it continues.
It's not surprising because everything you touch turns to gold for the most part. So
well, we like to keep it that way,
yeah.
as much as possible.
All right, let me start maybe a little offbeat here. I know last time we talked, you weighed in on Alex Rodriguez and told the path he's chosen here by going to the courts. Not only has it exposed part of the findings of the arbitration case, but I mean, can you ever picture him testifying under oath in a court of law?
No, I can't do that at all. And the fans don't want him, so it's sort of an interesting thing. But I think he's been doing this his whole life. I think I read someplace where even his high school coach said he was a user. So I don't know if that's factual or maybe it's not factual, but he is not somebody that has been good for the Yankees.
If you, a couple more years after that, would you be looking for legal ways to not have to pay him anymore?
Well, I would have taken a much different tact, and I told this to the Yankees. I'm very good friends with Randy Levine and everybody. He's a fantastic guy. And
he is a great guy,
yeah. Fantastic group of people. And, they're very good people, to be honest, because I would have handled it very much differently. I would have stopped paying him as soon as I found out about the drugs. He actually admitted it. I watched him when he went off the drugs, how he stood there looking at those balls going by him, and he didn't know what was happening. And I said, this isn't what they bargained for $28 million a year. And I would have stopped. And I told Randy, I said, Randy, you should just stop paying him. There's not a court in the nation that would let him win, because everybody understood. But they chose to continue to pay, to go through this long process of years of arbitration. I would have been much different. I would have stopped paying him a number of years ago and let him sue.
Is it too late to do that now going forward?
Well, I don't know. You'd have to ask them, but they certainly haven't taken that tact.
Yeah.
I actually suggested it to Randy, and he said, well, maybe I don't think we'd win that. And, maybe there's something, but in my opinion, it was a contract that it was a mistake, and they made a mistake. But part of the reason they made a mistake is because they saw him using drugs, and he was a different player. So they were getting something that they didn't bargain for, which is a shell of a player.
Donald Trump here. I always gravitate towards the sports with you because of our days with the USFL and Doug Flutie and Herschel Walker. Seems like 2 lifetimes ago. But let's get a little more current here. Lots of talk about your political future, and there always is. Should we be, very watchful? Are you planning on a gubernatorial run? Are you thinking about a possible presidential run? Where are you on either or both of those at this point?
Well, it's very early in terms of the presidential. I mean, to be honest with you, Steve, it's a long time out. You have a very important elections coming up in 2014. We'll see what happens. But so it's far too early. The Republican leaders have come. Many of the leaders of the Republican Party in New York have come and asked me to do it. New York is in bad shape. It's got the highest taxes in the United States for a state. And we'll look at it. If we could have a unified party in New York, which we have never had, which we haven't had for a long time, many years, if we had a unified party in New York, I would certainly give it very, very serious consideration, which I'm doing now. So we'll see what happens. There's got to be total unity because, it's 3-1 in New York, Democrats to Republicans. So it's a very hard race to start off with. And the last thing you want to do is go into a primary with somebody that can't win and have to spend time, effort, and money on winning a primary. So if there's unity, I would certainly consider it very strongly, and I've told them that.
How afraid are you, or if at all, and in what respect, under Bill de Blasio? I mean, you're sitting in New York City probably right now, if you're not in Florida or whatever, and your business is here, it's all over, but you know what I mean. And I mean, not only the law and the police and stop and frisk, but also this class warfare and threatening to tax people and the quote-unquote rich. And, you may fall into that category, but a lot of people who aren't rich, they consider rich. So, what are your fears about a de Blasio administration?
Well, I really have to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. New York City, Manhattan is doing phenomenally well. It's the golden goose, and I can't imagine anybody killing it, and I have high hopes for him. I really think that he's a smart guy. I know him very little, but I can tell you that he is a smart guy. He ran a great campaign. The Republicans just got absolutely blasted in that one. But I will say I'd rather have you ask me that question in a year from now. You have to let a little time go by. He picked an excellent police commissioner in Bill Bratton, so that was a good choice. And the rest of it, you're just going to have to see what happens over the next period of time. But again, I don't see him killing the golden goose. I don't think that's going to happen. But in 1 year from now, you and I will speak, as we always have, and we'll make a determination.
And of course, that'll be one of many conversations between now and a year from now. I know you got a board meeting. I just want to ask you one or two more questions quickly. Barack Obama, put the kibosh on Harry Reid from bringing up a sanctions vote against Iran in the Senate. Both Republicans and Democrats alike want to do that. You had the chief negotiator of Iran on Sunday saying, oh, everything's going to continue. The centrifuges, the program, this, that, we're going to stop nothing. I mean, is Reid just nothing but a puppet who answers to nobody except Obama?
Look, the whole fiasco in Washington is nothing short of amazing. What's going on between that, what's going on with Obamacare, which is turning out to be a total catastrophe, what's going on with, I could name 25 different subjects. It's just a total catastrophe, and nothing goes right, and nobody knows what they're doing.
All right, simple enough. Any favorites in this week's two championship games? I mean, Brady against Manning?
I tell you what, you're going to have really two great games and great athletes. And Tom Brady's a friend of mine, and he's a fantastic quarterback. And it's going to be very interesting to watch. So you're going to have, probably all going to be close games. But it's been very interesting. It's been actually a great football season.
Yeah, no, it really has. And it's going to be a great Super Bowl, notwithstanding no matter who's in it in a couple of weeks. Hey, Donald, thank you very much, sir.
You take care of yourself.
You too. Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Interesting. Yankees should have stopped paying him. I agree. Then let the courts handle it. You know, what would have happened? I'm sure they had legal advice. But anyway, we have a lot more ahead. We're going to hear from P.J. O'Rourke, columnist, humorist, author of The Baby Boom, How It Got That Way, and It Wasn't My Fault. And I'll never do it again. P.J. O'Rourke will be here live in-house in one of our studios to talk about it with us. And we're also going to talk to Michael Goodwin of the New York Post. Pat Buchanan will be here. And also Paul Molshine of the Star-Ledger. And my friend Joe Connor. Joseph Connor, author, businessman, lost his father in the Franz's Tavern bombing, the FALN. And we talk about Bill de Blasio. Do you know who the new city council speaker is in New York City? Have you ever heard of her? Do you know who she is? Well, you're going to find out. And if you think de Blasio is bad, I'm trying to get the story in front of me so I could just give you a particular or two. But yeah, if you think Melissa Mark Viverito, if you think de Blasio's bad, oh, my goodness. So Joe Connor wrote a piece, Melissa Mark Viverito and My Dad's Killers. Wait till you hear that interview. So we got a lot straight ahead, and it's all coming up right here. Don't go anywhere. Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.